Other interesting business news, Ferrari is reportedly delaying their high-volume EV because, spoiler, no one wants a Ferrari that's an EV. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Motor1.com, specifically Chris Perkins. Here you see the iconic Ferrari badge. And he says, quote, zero demand. Ferrari is reportedly delaying its second EV. Ferrari's first EV will be a limited production special. The second EV is supposed to be a higher volume, but apparently no one wants electric Ferrari. Because, of course not. Why would you want... I mean, it's hard to imagine it, but an electric Ferrari is an even more unreliable Ferrari and something that'll be a pain in the rear, if not impossible, to actually maintain long-term, just like a smartphone, because again, an EV is just a smartphone on wheels in terms of, lack of third-party support, lack of reliability, and serviceability long-term. And again, Ferrari, I don't want to say I called it, but I suspect they'll never go full EV, even with the totalitarian European Union trying to bully them to do it, because Ferrari is like a Rolex. No one on the planet has ever bought a Rolex to tell the time. You marvel at the fact that it's a piece of engineering. It's supposedly make 100% in-house in Switzerland. It's a piece of craftsmanship. It's a piece of art, most people would argue. If you want actually utilitarian, you get something like, my nice little green Garmin I got for free from a friend that is technically more accurate. And, that's for telling time. I mean, Rolex is a piece of luxury. It's a piece of art. And Rolex is nice in terms of no electronics. They'll last pretty much forever as long as you don't take care of it. Very similar to Ferrari. I think Ferrari's finding out the hard way with the EVs. Yeah, no one wants it. Rolex, when you had the quartz revolution in the watchmaking community years ago, they thought that was the future, and it nearly destroyed Switzerland's whole watchmaking community. But Rolex did make they made an electric watch with LEDs. It failed miserably and destroyed all the profitability and all the luxury of the brand. So they backpedaled, and they've been making works of art ever since. I think that same parallel is going to come with Ferrari as well, because again, long term, Rolex and a Ferrari is piece of craftsmanship. It's a status symbol. It's an achievement or a trophy for hitting a certain goal in your life. Now, enough of my pontificating though. Down to the article, they say, quote, electric performer cars have been proven hard to sell. Even Matt Rimac, who started the company that makes the EV hypercars, thinks so, and that's proving to be bad news for Ferrari. Reuters, citing anonymous sources, have reports that Ferrari is delaying its second EV from 2026 to 2028 because right now there's evidently zero demand for the car. Yeah. I don't know. To me, every Ferrari should have a stick shift and a V8 or V12. Granted, they haven't made a stick shift in decades. Now, they say, quote, the Reuters story, which the drive brought your attention, says that Ferrari's first EV will be a low-volume special model. I don't know who's going to buy that. And a, quote, symbolic milestone model that will meet its promise to launch its first EV by 2026. Second electric Ferrari is supposed to arrive by the end of next year, will be a higher volume production. They said that Ferrari sells around 5,000 to 6,000 examples of each regular production model after a 5-year run, but one Reuters sources said that would be impossible for an EV arriving next year. There's virtually no customer interest, so Ferrari's delaying them out until 2028 at the earliest. The additional time has also been set aside to benefit of the allowing Ferrari to further develop its EV technology, which reportedly previously Ferrari had applied for patents for a virtual engine and transmission system for electric cars, not unlike what Hyundai has done successfully in the Ioniq 5N. Still, one of the Reuters sources said that the main reason for the delay is the demand issue. It's not anything to do with the car itself. Ferrari isn't the only Italian performance car to delay its electric performance car plans. As Reuters notes, Lamborghini pushed back in the launch of the first EV from 2028 to 2029, and Maserati outright killed electric MC20, which Maserati is also crashing and burning, being one of those worst performance cars. Well, not just in terms of reliability, but yeah, the sales are crashing, and those things depreciate worse than a Mercedes and are even more unreliable, which is saying something. Now, they say that, quote, EV demand is slower than many automakers once anticipated, and regulatory pushes to end gas car production have been either delayed or abandoned entirely. In the US, European Union, they're still pushing it pretty hard. Now, they say, quote, for Ferrari, a wait-and-see approach might not be such a bad thing, rather than committing to something that might not need to be built after all, or customers might suddenly embrace performance EVs at a greater rate. They won't. Yeah, I think a EV Ferrari would be one of the dumbest things the company has done in years. And again, there is a market for someone who wants a sport EV, but I think that market is so small, it's not sustainable to have a company that only does that, yet alone tries to do it in high volume. I mean, we have the Dodge Charger EV, which is supposedly a sports car EV. A majority of them are collecting copious amounts of dust on Dodge dealer lots. No one's buying that stuff. And Ferrari, I mean, it's all about the craftsmanship. I mean, there's stories about how they have literally potted trees in their paint building because it makes a perfect atmospheric pressure and the perfect environment to apply the paint so perfectly. Got the hand-built engines. I would say we should all have a glorious V12. I know Ferrari 360 was kind of cool with the V8 stick shift, but that set aside, I really don't think Ferrari should. And they're going to make that one EV as a special thing. There might be one person who has money to piss away, like the king of one of those kings in the Middle East. Where, like, they don't care if that Ferrari lasts, a couple of years. It just won't be. I just don't see this being a long-term sustainable business idea. So I'm not surprised that they're putting the brakes on it, pun moderately intended. But let me know, do you think any true luxury performance sports car will ever really be an EV? I think Porsche's going to find out the hard way. Again, they're making the Cayman EV because the EU is bullying them to kill the gas engine one. I think that's going to crash and burn worse than a Boeing airplane. But let me know in the comments because, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say today. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.